Okay, so now we start our chapter 7. Okay, so this is chapter 7, which is functions. Are you ready, guys, for the new chapter? Ready? Okay. Okay, so functions. What is function? Okay, first, at the end of the chapter, you will understand concept of functions and you're able to code a program using functions technique. Okay. Okay, and then, so before we go further, we need to know a little bit introduction about functions. Okay, a function is a block of organized, reusable code that is used to perform a single and related action. Okay, and then why we need to use function? Because it will help manage complexity. So you can do your coding in a small blocks, okay, and then it will be easier to read. Okay, so kalau sebelum ni you buat coding from beginning until end. Okay, so now we can have function. Okay, so kita boleh buat smaller blocks of code untuk make sure kita boleh manage dengan bagus dan juga easy to read. Okay. And then with the function as well, we will encourage the reuse of the code. Okay, so we can reuse the code, okay, which is within a particular program or across different programs. Okay, and then we will allow independent development of code. Okay, so for example, we have this one. Ini kita guna function lah. Let's say you have function main, and then you have function for get data. You have function for process the data, you have function for show result, and then you have another function which is pause. Kalau sebelum ni kita akan buat our coding dalam script tu kan, daripada awal, and then we have the get data here, we have the process data here, we have show result here, we have pause here. So everything in one file. Okay, so now instead of we do our code in one code only, so we can chunk it or separate it into functions, into a few functions. Okay, saya akan tunjuk nanti. Okay, understand guys so far? What can you get the idea what is function?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so there are a few types of function. Okay, so function can be divided into two main type, which is built-in function and user-defined function. Okay, built-in functions adalah functions that already have in Python. Okay, for example, function for print, input, eval, integer, and many more. Okay, so these are the built-in functions. Okay, means that function already built in the in our Python. Others example like round. What else? You have round. So this is also built-in function. And then what else? Apa lagi functions yang built-in yang awak dah guna dalam coding awak? Kelas, can you give me example? Round. Lagi apa lagi? Apa kelas? Contoh built-in functions that you have implemented in your coding.
Math power.
Math dot power. Okay. What else? Math. Let's say math dot power. POW, right? Forgot. Okay.
Yes.
What else? There are many more. So that one is built-in function. Okay. Another type is user-defined function. User-defined function is the functions that can be customized. Okay. We can create our own function. Okay. So when we want to create our own function, that one is fall under user-defined function. So we can customize our own function. Okay. Okay. So for today, what we're going to do is actually the user-defined functions. Okay. So in doing the user-defined function, there are certain rules that we must obey. Okay, we must follow that rules. Okay. The main rules is function blocks begin with the keyword def. DEF. DEF means that define. Okay, define. So means that first we need to define our user defined function. Okay, followed by the name and parentheses. Okay, for example like this. First, this is the syntax to do the user defined function. First, we need to have user defined start with keyword def. So we have here keyword def space the function name. So we can put our own function name. For example here, our own function name is welcome underscore message. Okay. And then followed by the parentheses here. Okay. And then inside our parentheses, we can have input parameter. Okay. For example here, we have two input parameter, which is the first input is name. The second input is course name. Okay. And then after that, followed by function block start with semicolon and is indented. So after this parenthesis, close parenthesis, we need to have semicolon. This semicolon means that our function is started now. Okay. And then when we enter, it will be automatically indented. Okay. So means that our function is here, inside here. The statement for this function is inside here. Okay. For example, we have this statement, print welcome to class of BCI 1103. So means that this statement belongs to this welcome message user defined function. Okay. And then the last one is we need to have return. Okay. Return keyword. The keyword return here is the output of the function. Okay. The output of the function will be returned here. Okay. So this is the syntax if you want to create your own user defined function. Okay. Understand, guys? Okay, class?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, when we have defined, we already define our function. Define ni macam kita register lah, okay? We already registered or defined our own function in the Python. So after we define it, we need to call it, okay? We need to call the function. So now we have a calling functions, okay? Okay, so we will call the define function. There are two types of call function. First is without parameter. Second is with parameter. Without parameter means that we directly call the function name. Okay. However, for with parameter means that we will call that function by object reference. Means that we will pass the parameter value to that function. So we will call that function and we'll pass something. Okay. For example, if in real life, okay, in real life, let's say you want to call or you want to send, you want to call your friend through WhatsApp. Okay, so through WhatsApp, you need to send a message first. Okay, so inside your WhatsApp, you need to put something. Okay, hello, hi, assalamualaikum, something like that. So that one is with parameter. However, let's say you want to directly call your friend through telephone lah, okay, through telephone. So you don't have to pass any parameter, you just call your friend without any parameter. So your friend pun angkat telephone. Okay, so that's the analogy of how call function in calling function for user defined function. Okay, class, faham? Faham tak?
Faham.
Faham Betul faham?
Rasalah.
Faham tak? Faham tak? Rasanya faham kan? Okey, tak apa. Bila kita buat latihan nanti, awak akan lebih faham lah. Okay. Okay, so you have to remember for until now, I already explained to you how many types of function, class? How many types of function? How many? Class? Two. Okay. What are the two types of user-defined function? One is what?
Building.
Built-in. Okay. Another one is
User defined.
user-defined. Okay. So, built-in, we already know this one is already inside the Python. We cannot kacau dia. Okay. Okay, now we talk about user-defined. So, after we define the the function, we need to call it. Okay. So, what type of calling function? How to call the function? How many types?
Two.
Two.
Two types. First one is
Without parameter and with parameter.
without parameter and
The
with
second one is with
parameter. Okay? Okay. So, okay, first we go to the without parameter. Okay. Let's say you already define your function. Your defined function is welcome message. Okay, you have def space welcome underscore message, and this one without, because you doesn't have any parameter. So let's say here you didn't have any parameter inside here, followed by semicolon, and you have the statement for this for this function adalah welcome to class of BCI 1103, and then you return here. Okay. Okay, how to call this function? Macam ni je. You just call the function name. The function name is welcome underscore message. So dekat sini you just call it welcome underscore message. Okay. So this is the meaning by calling function without parameter. So once you run it, apa yang berlaku adalah it will print welcome to class of BCI 1103. Okay. Okay, so this is without parameter. Now we move to the with parameter. Okay, let's say you have defined your welcome message like this. Def space welcome underscore message, and inside your welcome message you have two input. The first one is name, the second one is course name. And then here inside your welcome message function, you have two statement. You want to print hello name, okay, welcome to class of BCI 1103. And then you want to print your course name is, what is the course name, okay? And then you have written here. So when you want to call this function using parameter, you need to do like this. First, you put the function name. Okay, you call that function name welcome underscore message, and inside here you pass the parameter value. Okay, so the first parameter value that you will pass is Fiona. The second parameter is computer programming. Okay. When you pass like this, what will happen is actually Fiona will be passed to name. Okay, mula. Fiona will be passed to name here. Okay, computer programming will be passed to course name. Okay, so when this statement is executed, it will print hello value of name, which is Fiona. Hello Fiona, welcome to class of BCI 1103, and then your course name is value in the course name, which is computer programming. So it will print your course name is computer programming. Okay, it will be like this. Okay, okay class, understand?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, let's debug. Chapter 7. Okay, this one. Okay. So if we do this one, what will happen is, if we debug, okay, so now we want to call this function. We have welcome underscore message and we pass the value of Fiona and computer programming. What will happen is actually Fiona and computer programming will be passed to the user defined function. So now we have hello. Okay, so the value of name is Fiona. Welcome to class of BCI 1103. And then we have another one. Your course name is, value in the course name is computer programming. Okay. Okay class, understand? So it will return back to here. Okay, faham class?
Faham.
Okay, let's see. Let's say if you put like this, when you want to pass the value, you pass like this. Okay, first you pass the value of computer programming. Second value is you pass Fiona. Okay, if we do like this, you can see what will happen. So we have computer programming and Fiona. We pass to the user defined function welcome message. Hello. Name will be computer programming. Welcome to class blah blah blah. Your course name will be Fiona. Okay. Kenapa jadi macam tu? Why? Why this thing happen? Agak-agak kenapa? Class?
The sequence.
The sequence. Yes, correct. The sequence of parameter. Okay. Because here, when you want to call a function by passing the parameter will be passed accordingly. Okay. So for the first one, it will go to the first variable. For the second one, it will go to the second variable. So you have to be careful when you want to pass parameter. Okay. Parameter to the user defined function. Otherwise, you will be mistake like this. Okay, class? Faham?
Faham.
Okay. Okay. Dan yang ni. Okay. For example, we have another example. Let's say we have count equal to 0. And then here we have enter number of total value to be calculated. Okay, the same example as previous chapters. And then we have a while here. While count less than num total. So here we want to do the repetitive statement. Okay. So as long as the count is less than this num total, we will loop this statement. Okay. So we have enter the first value, we have enter second value, and we calculate the total by having value 1 plus value 2. And then we will print total value is total, and then we have the count equal to count plus 1. Okay, so this is our example without using user-defined function. So now, we want to make this total, we want to calculate this total in a function. We don't want to directly calculate here. Okay. So let's say we want to name our function as calculate underscore value. Okay. So we want to calculate underscore value. The first thing that we must do is we must define our function or register our function. So here we have DEF space our function name, which is calculate underscore value. So we have here calculate underscore value. And then here, in order for us to calculate the total, how many parameter that we need, class? In order for us to calculate the total, how many parameter or how many variable?
2.
2. Okay. So we need 2, which is value 1 and value 2. So that's why here I have 2 parameter. Okay. I have 2 parameter for me to calculate the total. I name my parameter as number 1 comma number 2. So I have two parameter, number 1 and number 2. Okay. And then followed by the semicolon. Okay. So here, after that, I will do my my function body. Okay. So inside my function body, I have the calculation of total, which is total equal to number 1 plus number 2. Okay. And then after that, I will return my total. Okay. So I will return my output. My output is from here, which is total. So that's why you can see here, I have returned total. Okay. So now I already defined it. The second step is I need to call this function. Okay. The same thing, I will ask user to enter how many total value. And then I will ask user to enter the first value and the second value. The first value will be stored in value 1. The second value will be stored in value 2. Okay, you can see here. In our original code, we calculate the total here. But now our total has been removed or has been moved to the function calculate value. So instead of we have directly total here, we will call the calculate value function. So here I will call this function. Just call the name calculate underscore value, and then I will pass this value from value 1 go to value 1, value 2 go to value 2. Okay, so and then this one is original coding, count equal to count plus 1. What will happen is actually like this. When I call this function, it will pass this value. Value 1 will be stored in number 1. Okay. Value 2 will be stored in number 2. Okay. Okay, class. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's see this coding. Okay. Okay, like this. Calculate total. Let me close this one first. Okay, so I have here. This one also I will close it. Okay. So I will return total here. Okay. So when I have this one pun saya tutup dulu. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So now I have this one, this value. When I debug, okay. So I have my user defined function here. Okay, so I have this one. How many total? Let's say I said 1. Okay. So we will go to the while statement. Okay, total value. The first value is 34. The second value is 45. Okay, so now when I call this function, what will happen is actually it will pass the value for while 1, which is 34, and then value for while 2, which is 45. Okay, we go to the function, go to our user defined function. So now it will do the total number 1, which is 34. Okay, awak boleh nampak kat sini kan, number 1, value 1, it will pass to the number 1. Okay, plus with number 2, which is while 2, 45. Okay, so now we have total equal to 79, and then we return our total. We return our total output. Okay, go to the caller. So now caller hold our value, which is 79. Okay. Okay. Okay, class, understand? Understand, class? Then we stop here. Understand class so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now we move to the next example. Okay. If you notice just now, when we do like this, okay, when we do like this, we unable to print out the total, right? Betul tak kelas? That total value just hold here, 79 tadi. Nampak tak waktu kita debug tadi? 79 just hanging dekat sini, betul tak?
Betul.
Okay. So now, instead of we do like that, we must have the variable. We create one variable. That variable will receive the value that have been written from here. Okay. When we return this output from our user-defined function, our variable here will receive that value. Okay. So that's why here I create one variable. The variable name is total while equal to it will call this function. Okay. So that I can print out that total value here. Okay. Okay. You can see again here. Saya tutup yang ni. I will open this one. And then I will print this one. Okay. If we debug, okay, the same thing here. And then I ask user, so let's say user said once only. The first value is 23. The second value is 34. So sekarang we can print out. Okay, again. I will debug one by one, line by line. Okay, 1. Okay, go to the while statement. Okay, let's say I said 34. The second value is 39. Okay, so now when I call this function, what will happen is they will pass the 34 and 39 to the calculate value. Okay, so inside the calculate value, I will calculate the total. Total equal to number 1. Number 1 value is similar to while 1, which is 34, plus number 2, which is 39. So I will get 73, and I will return the total, which is 73, to the caller. So this here in the caller, the variable that we receive, the 79, variable yang akan menerima 73. Okay, variable yang akan menerima this 73 is total val. Okay, so you can see here now our variable total val already have the value, which is 73. So here I will print the 73. Total value is total val 73. Okay. Okay, class? Faham? Faham, class?
Faham.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we have another example. Before this, after we calculate the total value, we will have this one, right? Okay, we will determine that total value in which category. Is it A, B, C ataupun sorry, try again. Betul tak? Last time kita buat contoh. Betul tak? Betul tak, kelas?
Betul.
Betul. Okay. So now, this one, we want to make it in our user-defined function as well. We don't want to have a selection here. We want to make a selection inside our own user-defined function. So we want to create function. The function name is determine underscore grade. Okay. So first we need to define our user-defined function. Def space determine underscore grade, and then in order for us to determine what is the variable or what is the value that we need. Which one guys? In order for us to determine that total, total is yes, pass with A, pass with B. What is the name of that variable? Here. Guys, what is the name of that variable in order for us to determine that total value? Which one?
Total van.
Total val. Okay. So that's why here, inside our user-defined function, we have one variable here. Our variable name, let's say we just name it total value. Okay. Nama variable kita adalah total value. Okay. So here, after that one, we have a semicolon. Kemudian inside our user-defined function body tu, we have this, yang ni lah. We have semua ni. Yang ni semua ni. We have this one inside here. Okay. But here, instead of we use total val, we need to use total value. The name is total value. Okay. So, if total value more than or equal to 80, pass with A. If not, we check with this condition, pass with B. If not, pass with C. If all the conditions are false, we go to try again and we return. Okay. Okay. So now we already defined it. Next thing is we need to call this function. Okay, we need to call this function. So we call here. We just call it determine grade, the name of this function, determine underscore grade, and then we will pass this value, okay, or this value, total val. We will pass this value to the function. So this total val will be stored in total value, okay. So that's why here inside the user-defined function, we use total value. We didn't use total val because total val is here, not inside this function. Okay. So here we use total value. Okay. Understand, guys? Class, understand?
Yes, madam.
Understand.
Let's debug. Okay, this one. Okay. Total val. Okay. Okay, so we have two functions. Let's say I said one only. So I will ask user to enter the value for 1, which is 34. Second value is, let's say, 45. Okay, now they call the calculate total value. They will pass to that one. Okay, now we want to call the determine grade. Okay. So when we call the determine grade, we will pass the total value here, which is 79. We will pass to the determine grade. Okay. Total value here is similar to total val, which is 79. Okay. So it will check inside our if else condition. Okay, so now it's actually 79 is false under yes, pass with B. Okay. Okay, so it will print yes, pass with B, and then it will return the value. Okay. So that's why we have here yes, pass with B. Okay. And the rest is just a looping. Okay. Okay, guys. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions so far? No more, no question? Cik tengok ni. Is there any question here? Is there any difference between the determine grade and calculate value? What is the difference? Chong Jin Ming. Is there any difference? Have you noticed any difference? Did you notice any difference in this coding?
Total and total value, is it?
No. Inside the user defined function. Ada siapa-siapa nampak tak dia punya perbezaan? Faris. Did you notice any difference?
Tak perasan.
Tak perasan? Nak siapa lagi ya? Amirul Rashid. Amirul Rashid.
Okay, madam.
Nampak tak any difference between calculate value dengan determine grade?
Tak pasti ya.
Pasti. Devnesh Ravi, Devinash.
Tak pasti juga apa.
Tak pasti juga. Tak no, total value no. With and without statement. What do you mean with and without statement? Shashmita, can you explain more? What is the meaning of with and without statement? Both have statement.
Sorry madam, with and without parameter, bukan statement.
Dua-dua ada parameter. Ini pun ada parameter, ini pun ada parameter. Ain kata if else. Memanglah lain lah sebab statement dia berbeza kan. Yang ini statement dia just to calculate total. This one statement dia to get the if else statement tu kan. Okay, apa yang awak nampak 100% berbeza? Dari segi in terms of coding.
Calculated value tu ada dua parameter. Kalau determine grade tu ada satu parameter.
Itu dia punya dia punya proses dia lah. Okay, sebab proses dia macam tu. Okay, in terms of the coding, which part is different? Awak mungkin akan tertanya-tanya, kenapa yang ni kena buat macam ni, yang ini kena buat macam ni? Nampak tak? Yes, return. Okay, tengok kat sini. For this one, kita return total. Tapi yang ini kita return sahaja. Okay, dia ada beza. When you want to return value in variable, you need to return that variable. So, okay. Dalam case ni sebab kita ada value dalam total. So, we want to return this one as our output. So, that's why we return that variable. Okay. But here, dalam case ni, kita just print. Kita just print out. Yes, with A. Yes, pass with B. Yes, pass with C. Sorry, try again. So, means that there is no variable value to be returned. Okay, so that's why we just said return. Return any output here. Okay, faham kelas? Faham tak?
Again, madam.
Okay, sekali lagi. Kalau dalam case yang ini, okay, we calculate total. Okay, and then kita tahu yang our output here adalah this total. So, we must return this total value. So, that's why we return total. Okay. But here, our output is yang ini. Yes, pass with A ke? Yes, pass with B ke? Ataupun yes, pass with C ke? Ataupun sorry, try again. So, yang ini, value ini tidak diletak in any variable. Dia tidak ada variable. Okay. So, that's why we just said return the output from here. Any output from here. So, that's why we just return without any variable here. Okay? Understand? Understand, class?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so that's the difference lah. Okay, basically dalam kita buat coding tu. Okay. Boleh? Can we proceed? Can we proceed, class?
Boleh.
Okay. So now, when we do function, kalau kita buat function tanpa tanpa the main aim dia adalah easy to maintain, tidak bergunalah our function. So here, this is how you need to build your function to make sure it is easy to maintain. Okay, easy to maintain here means that you can reuse it, you can easily maintain it by recode it, etc. Okay, so how to make sure your function is easy to maintain is by build the function in a separate file. Don't put in the same file. Okay, so you create your function in a separate file. Okay, for example, we have here, kalau yang ini tadi, kalau this one, kalau perasan yang this one, saya letak dalam satu file. Okay, bila dalam satu file, it still hard to be maintained. So, to make sure our function is easy to be maintained, we need to create these functions, okay, these functions in a separate file. Okay, so how to do it? Very simple. Just create another file. Okay, let's say here, okay, you have, before this, you have this function, right? Calculate value. Okay, this function calculate value. You create the calculate value in another file. The file name, let's say you name your file as calculate file. Okay, so you have here, you just create new file, and then you have calculate.py. Okay, calculate.py. Py means that Python. So you have another file Python. The name is calculate file. So inside your calculate file, you will put the function calculate underscore value. Okay. The second one is you have you want to create another file. The file name is grade file. So you have grade.py. Inside your grade.py, you put the function for determine grade. This function. Okay. Function ini you put in another file. The file name is grade file. Okay. Dan function ini you put in another file which is calculate file. Okay. Dan your main file here yang ada ini, yang we call the function, the coding that we call the function, etc., you name it as a main. So here, let's say I name my main function as cal total underscore main.py. Okay. So I'm going to have 3 files for this coding. Okay. So why we do like this? Let's say you have another coding after this, and your coding also to determine the grade. So you can just easily use this file, okay, and put in your coding. Okay. Okay. So here we have the function as I mentioned before. We have the function for calculate value inside our calculate.py, and then we have determine grade inside our grade.py. Okay. Okay. Once you build your function in a separate file, you must import it. Okay. The second thing is you need to import it. Okay. First, you need to import calculate file. Second, you need to import grade file. Okay. So now you import from calculate, import all. From grade, import all. Okay. So means that here you will import calculate file and you will import grade file. Okay. Means that in another word, means that you will import the function inside the calculate, and also you will import the function inside the grade file. Okay. Understand, class? Kemudian the rest similar like before. You just call the function and you just call the function here as well. Okay, understand guys? Faham tak? Faham Very easy. So this is the things. Okay. Kalau buat C, kalau pakai C coding, tak boleh nak buat macam ni. Dia agak complicated. Okay. Kalau pakai Python senang, directly buat je macam tu. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I have explained to you. First, you need to create a file, and then you need to name your file. So inside your file, you put your function. Also for this one, you create another file. You put the name of that file, and then you put the function inside here. The second, you must import the function inside the calculate file, and you must import the function inside the grade file. Okay. Okay, and then after that, you will call the function as before. Okay. Okay, let's debug. Okay, so sekarang we don't want to use this one anymore because this one dia dalam inside one file. So saya nak tunjuk yang banyak file tu. So we have calculate total main, and then we have calculate.py. Py means that Python, okay, file Python, okay. And then we have grade. Okay, so now you can see here, I have function calculate here in the calculate value and inside the calculate.py, and I have grade.py file. Inside this grade.py file, I have function determine grade. Okay, so in my main function, I name my file as calculate cal total underscore main.py. Okay, so I will import the function from calculate import all. So means that I'm going to import all the function inside my calculate file, and I'm going to import all the function inside grade file. Okay, faham? Faham Okay, jom kita debug. Okay, when we debug, okay, so let's say here I just put 1. Okay, so we go inside. So the first value 34, second value 56. So I will call, cepatlah pula. Semula ya kelas. Again, redebug. Okay, 1 only. Okay, inside here, let's say 34. The next value is 43. Okay, so when I call this function, even though it is inside another file, it still can call that function. Okay. Okay, pass with the value for value 1 and value 2. Pass to the calculate value. So it will calculate here 34 plus 43. So we will get total is 77. So we will pass the value. Pass to the caller. Total value now is 77. Okay, now we have the total value is 77. Next, we will call the determine grade. Even though this determine grade is inside another file, we still can call it. Okay, so we call determine grade and we pass value total val, which is 77, to the determine grade. Okay, and then we can do it. Okay, so now we return, and then after that we pass yes, pass with B. Okay, done. Okay, understand guys? That's how you do the easy to maintain user-defined function. Okay, class, understand?
Understand.
Okay, good. Okay, so as a recap, step to do user-defined function. First, you need to define a function using the function format. Second, if you just define without calling, it's useless. Okay, baik tak payah buat that function. Okay, so you must call that function. Okay, and then step to do user-defined function for easy maintenance. You define the function using the function format in a file. You create another file and then you do the user-defined function inside that file. And then second, you must import the file in the main file, and then you will call the function as usual. Okay. Okay, that's all function. So you must do exercise. Kering tekak saya guys. You all rasa penat tak dengar saya cakap? Kering tekak saya. So nak buat macam ni latihan ni? Kelas? Kelas? Nak buat dulu, kemudian kita discuss, atau nak buat dulu, hantar dalam Padlet, hari Rabu kita discuss. Which one?
Buat lepas tu submit dalam Padlet.
Main Padlet sebab saya sakit tekak dah. Kering dah tekak saya. Boleh kelas? Halal je?
Boleh.
Boleh Okay,
Boleh, madam.
so untuk latihan, for latihan tu kan, if you still remember, last time you do the cylinder tu kan, untuk calculate cylinder, volume for cylinder and cone, and then after that you determine whether that one is cylinder bigger than cone, atau volume for cylinder similar, atau cone bigger than cylinder. Okay, the same coding tu. Sekarang, I want you to enhance that coding. Okay, enhance that coding by using functions technique that will ease the maintenance process. Okay, so daripada coding asal awak tu kan, awak to calculate volume for cylinder, awak create one function. The function name is volume underscore cylinder, and inside that function you will calculate calculate this one. And then you will create another function as well for to calculate volume for cone. The function name is volume underscore cone. Okay. And then you will create another function name compare underscore volume in order for you to make a comparison. Okay, yang ini. Okay. So guys, how many functions, user defined function that you need to create?
3.
3. Okay. And then basically how many Python files that you will have?
4.
4. Okay, correct. First one is the main. Second is for this one. Third is for this one. Fourth is for this one. Tapi, let's say awak kata untuk volume, untuk calculate volume ni awak nak buat dalam satu file pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay. Okay. So, ni first exercise that you must do. Second exercise is the robot arm that you do last time. Okay, for the robot arm, this part, okay, for this part, I want you to create in one function. The function name is determine underscore coordinate. Determine underscore coord. Okay, this one is to determine the coordinate for the robot arm. Okay. And then I want you to create another function, this one. You name that function as determine underscore location. Okay, determine underscore location for in order for you to locate the robot arm. Okay, so in this case, you're going to have 2 user-defined functions, and you're going to have 3 files. First one is main file. Second is determine coordinate. Third is determine location. Okay, kelas? Senang je sebenarnya. Okay, boleh? Okay. All the files, I encourage you to put in the same file. In the same folder. Contoh this one. Easy. Yang ni kan? Contoh this one. I put in my one folder. My folder name is exercise easy. So inside here, I put all my files. I have cylinder, I have cone, I have main, I have to calculate cylinder, I have to calculate cone, and I have to make a comparison. Okay, so for you to easy to get which one is the file for your coding, you put in one folder. Okay. Okay, class, can you do it?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Yang ini kita buat hari Rabu lah. Tax system dengan intermediate level ni kita buat hari Rabu. Okay. Okay, class. So that's all. That's all your exercise for this week. Okay, we will discuss hari Rabu. Okay, submit to Padlet first. Okay.